What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Marshall Time. This is a big night, opening night of the NBA. This is a holiday for basketball fans. If you celebrate this day, this is opening night. And bro, I'm looking at these opening night matchups. I'm kind of disappointed because you're seeing the reports about the stars. All the stars probably won't be playing. I'm not sure if you saw, I think Devin Booker is probably 50-50. They're saying Bradley Beal, I don't think it's looking good for him to play. And then Draymond Green is out for the Warriors. But the first game, though, Lakers and Nuggets, all the guys should be ready to go. And then you have Phoenix and Golden State. So I'm excited about these matchups. These are four teams where in the Western Conference that we expect to be there in the end. Definitely the Nuggets for sure. And the Suns obviously are going to have a lot of attention this season. But I'm excited just to see Denver and this Lakers matchup. Obviously, this was a playoff series last year. The Nuggets defending champs. I'm excited to see how strong the Lakers come out and how strong the Nuggets come out. Will there be a championship hangover? You lose a Bruce Brown, like how do these other guys, Christian Braun, Peyton Watson, do these guys step up? Julian Strawther, the rookie, right? And so the Lakers with their addition. So I think the Laker Nugget matchup for me, I'm more excited about, especially with Phoenix and Golden State. You may not have all the guys there.
Yeah, I'm just excited for the season in general. Like, I don't know about you, but I felt like this preseason was different than preseasons of the past. Like, I just saw all the players out there playing. I saw them really going at it. Like, of course they weren't playing intense defense, but I saw them really trying to get to a bucket. I saw a lot of different players doing different things than they normally do. And it just felt like a different energy. I don't know what it is. Like, me personally, I never put a lot of stock into NBA regular season because I know how it goes. It's a long season. Players aren't giving it their all every night, no matter how much we think they should or we think they do. They don't. But I don't know. This preseason, like, I just saw something different, and I'm just excited. I think it's going to be a good season for the league. And I feel like it's one of the seasons where we really, truly don't know who's going to win. You know what I mean? We can predict who's going to be in the race at the end. But if anything, like last year, the Nuggets won the championship. A lot of people didn't have them actually winning the whole thing. And I feel like that same trend is going to continue this year, especially with all the moves that have been made. So I'm definitely excited.
Multiple storylines. I'm more excited about the Western Conference. We know about the East, Milwaukee and Boston. That's what everybody thinks is the two-team race, and as it should be, but you never know. You have the Cavaliers, the Heat always, and who knows what Philly does and the Knicks. But the Western Conference for me is the conference to watch. Even with the teams that we don't expect to be playoff contenders, I'm going to watch the Houston Rockets team with the Amen Thompson, Jalen Green. Will Jabari Smith take another step from last year? Will he continue to show some growth? The Spurs, obviously, we'll talk about the Spurs and what that guy Vic has been looking like in the preseason and what we're looking forward to the most about him. Then you have these up-and-coming teams. We're going to talk about the Thunder. You have the Kings. Can they repeat what they did last year? I even like the Jazz, what they have, right? And so I can pinpoint for every Western Conference team almost pretty much, I can pinpoint something that I'm excited about seeing. Like there may be a team like the Mavericks, even though I'm not excited about the prospect of that team, but it's Luka and Kyrie, so you have to watch, right? And so the Western Conference for me is going to be the most entertaining thing to watch this season outside of just the major storylines. And so with any new season, you got to talk about predictions and all the major awards. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try our hand and give our take on who we think can make it, even our philosophies on it and other candidates that people may not even be thinking about. Because going through this list of awards, there were some names that I didn't think about at first. And I really pictured it as like, I can see this person being in that race, because there's always names that you don't think about in the most improved award or coach of the year award, right? And so this is going to be a fun conversation. We're going to start at the top. Actually, let's go in reverse. Obviously, the big award is MVP. First, let's do coach of the year. Who you got?
Coach of the year. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go Nick Nurse though. I'm gonna go Nick Nurse for the simple fact that he's a new coach on a new team with the Sixers, right? He coached for the Raptors for years. He's on the Sixers now. We know the Sixers have drama right now, but I think that the Sixers are a team that can do good enough in the regular season to surprise some people. You know what I mean? Like, we might finish a third seed, we might finish a fourth seed. And I feel like that combined with the drama going on with Harden and the fact that we might have a good regular season might give enough for Nick Nurse to win Coach of the Year. Because people might look at that and say, well, he came in and kind of changed the culture. Even though I know a lot of people don't like Doc Rivers. I'm not a Doc Rivers fan. I'm not a Doc Rivers hater. He just is what it is with Doc Rivers. You know what I mean? Is he the best coach? No. Is he the worst coach? No. But I mean, history tells us that Nick Nurse is probably a better coach than him. So we'll see how he comes in and turns around. If the Sixers have a better regular season than projected, I think Nick Nurse might win Coach of the Year. I think that's it's possible for him.
I hope so. As a Sixers supporter, that would be a great thing for us. It's Coach of the Year is interesting because you look at the best coach on the best team in the league, and I don't agree with that. For me, it's like Mike Brown won it with the Kings. To me, that's a Coach of the Year. We saw what the Kings did, breaking the playoff curse, having that major jump with you being the major change. To me, Mike Brown was well deserved, and so for me, a lot of energy with this team. I think they're going to make another leap. I'm going to pick, I hope I say his name right, Mark Daigneault from OKC. A lot of attention, but toward the end of the last season, I think they started to open up my eyes even a little bit more. And I like how he has these young guys playing. They have so much just great energy, chemistry. They play hard. I mean, and the way that Sam Presti and those guys have built this team, guys that are skilled, great size, that's a testament to coaching, obviously. The front office down to the coaching and the development of these young guys. And I think the jump that I expect OKC to be a top 16 in the Western Conference. And for me, I think I got to give credit to the coach, and that will be my Coach of the Year pick. I also got an eye on Indiana and Rick Carlisle. If they can somehow find their way into a playoff picture, they could. I don't think it's far-fetched to say Indiana can sneak into a 6th spot in the Eastern Conference. It wouldn't shock me. And if that happens, you got to talk about Rick Carlisle in that conversation with that young team. And so that's sort of like a deep sleeper for me, but got to go with Mark Daigneault for OKC as Coach of the Year for me. All right, let's go to this is another interesting one. Defensive Player of the Year. I believe last year, Marcus Smart. Was it Marcus Smart?
It was
Jaren Jackson. It was Marcus Smart.
Or was it Brook Lopez? No, it was Jaren.
It was Jaren last year. The year before,
Marcus
because
Smart.
That was the big year. It was a guard for the first time in a while, and so that was such a huge thing. In which I think more perimeter guys should get more attention. Honestly, with this being such a guard-driven, honestly, the name that I first brought up was Mikal Bridges, but then I said perimeter guys don't give that much love. This is a award that leans toward the big guys, and so I switched my pick quickly when I just remembered they don't give. It makes no sense the way the game's played, why perimeter defenders don't get much attention when it comes to that award, but I digress. So Jaren Jackson was last year's winner. Who you have this year? Which you can throw out the usual names, but I'm going left with it a little bit.
I'm going left with it too. I'm going Wemby. And I thought about it like
this. My pick.
Well, here's my explanation for it. I think he's going to average close to 3 blocks, if not 3 blocks a game, right? Mm-hmm. We saw that he has the ability to guard, with switching. We saw what he did to Wiggins in the preseason. Like, I don't know. And I feel like people are already going to be looking at him as a defensive presence. Like, people are already expecting it from him. So if he can come out and really, average the numbers with it, I really feel like he could do it. Another thing, too, it's going to be dependent on the Spurs record, right? Because I feel like a lot of times Defensive Player of the Year usually goes to a player that is the best defender on a good team. You know what I mean? So I don't know how good the Spurs are going to be, but let's say they're on the bubble, or they're like sneaking into the 8th seed, which is, a lot of people probably don't expect them to do that. But let's say that's what
even
happens.
The play-in spot,
yeah, that's right? What I'm saying. They're on the bubble, for the play-in, and then they get to the playoffs. How do you not give him that award? You know what I mean? Like, especially if he's averaging the numbers with it. So that's how I'm looking at it, because I just feel like it's an impact award, and we're going to see a direct impact on that team on the defensive side before anything with him on that court. So that's my pick.
It's preseason, but what he's shown defensively, even outside of just the unbelievable block of Andrew Wiggins shooting a jumper, that picture is just ridiculous. His mere presence, outside of blocking shots, I think a defender's presence, sort of like the equation of a football cornerback, right? When he eliminates one side of a field, that his presence alone probably impacts a game in so many ways that you can't even realize. And so Vic's mere presence at anywhere in a half-court setting, whether he's down low, whether he's on the perimeter, you're not safe, right? And so he's going to average a lot of blocks. Like that's not a question. Just putting his hands up, straight up, he's going to get blocks on accident. So that's 2 a game right there. But just his mere presence, a guy's driving to the hole, he sees Wemby, I got to pass that up. I'm not trying this because what are you going to do, right? His presence, he's going to get shots blocked. He's just going to be such a deterrent for offenses. He's going to have the biggest impact for me defensively out of a lot of guys in this league, out of any name, Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley, Bam Adebayo, like you can name them.
He might even get a couple lane steals too, just off of reflexes in his arm. Like, it's crazy.
Just the deflections, like just eating up space in a half-court setting, just his presence. He doesn't even have to get a block to have an impact defensively. Like it's just his presence is going to be ridiculous. And so I think it's going to be something to where, like you said, if they're in that play-in conversation and he's impacting games in a way that we haven't seen defensively, you got to give it to him, right? Like, I don't see how you can't, and honestly, I don't even care if they're, look, I'm the type that, look, if he's the best defender in the league, he's the best. I don't care if his team's in the playoffs or not.
I just know how the voters think.
This is an individual award for me. Like the MVP for me should be, okay, if you're MVP, your team should be winning, right? But defensively, what type of impact are you making? If you're making if you're making an impact that can't be compared to any other player in the league, I got to give you that award. I just have to.
Has a rookie ever won Defensive Player of the Year?
I would have to go back. Let me check the list real
quick.
Like
maybe Tim Duncan might have did it, but I don't know. Hold on.
I'm looking right now.
I think who else could have did it? Maybe Will, Ralph Sampson.
Bill Russell, maybe.
Bill Russell.
I don't think Shaq or I'm trying to think of big men, right? Dwight Howard, maybe.
I don't think he won his rookie year.
Dikembe, maybe. I don't know if he won his rookie year. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think a rookie. Yeah.
Never been done before.
Yeah, it hasn't been done. I think if anybody's going to do it, it's a prospect like Wemby, honestly. I think we're just going to see a whole nother level of impact that we haven't seen. Like, you can actually literally get a wide open look. You see Wemby beneath the foul line and think you have a clear shot. Next thing you know, by the time you're about to release, it's changing your whole situation there when you're looking at the basket. He doesn't even have to get a hand on it. Just his mere presence, it was gonna make you think twice by the time you're up in the air. We're gonna see a lot of guys pump faking it in the air, trying to want to see a lot of.
Saw that, but you know what? We saw that already. But another rookie that might do it too. And when you consider the team's record, Chet.
Yeah, Chet's another one. Yeah.
Considering the fact that he's the only true center on the team and the Thunder are going to have a good record, he's going to be in the running for that too, because he can get them blocks too. Don't let his weight fool you. He got the arm length. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting.
Here's another name. I'm always going to I'm trying to push this conversation about versatile perimeter defenders, the guys who can defend 1 through 4, right? The Mikal Bridges of the game. And here's a name that I think is gaining a lot of traction from last season. I don't know about this team and what they're going to do, but I think Jay McDaniels may find himself in that conversation. I know he's getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are highly, highly touting him. And so I think he could have a conversation. If Minnesota is a top 4 team in the West, I think Jay McDaniels might find himself in that. I want to see more of those type of guys win these awards. I do, because that's where the game is right now. Like it's a 2-3 spot on the floor. Like those are the top players that we're talking about here, guys who are doing damage from the perimeter. And so I want to see more guys from that mold take this crown. Yeah. All right. So we did Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Next up, this is another tough one, Sixth Man of the Year. Because I really, honestly, it all depends on, I think this is geared toward the sixth man on a contending team. That's what I feel like it's going to, because Malcolm Brogdon was the winner last year, right? And I feel like it may lean toward more of the same this year.
Yeah, the six man has always been, who's the best player off the bench on a good team. That's what it's always been. It's been like a bucket getter or who comes and gives the team a spark. My pick for this is Malik Monk all the way. Malik Monk is the six man. Like, that's him. Like, from the way he plays, from the way he's built, everything. Like, he has all the tools to be a perfect six man. He is a great six man already for them. Like, we've seen what he did in the playoffs. We've seen him have crazy sparks in the regular season. And the Kings are a team they're only going to get better. I think he averaged around 14 last year. That number could definitely increase. The way Sacramento plays, they play fast. That's his game. Get up a lot of get downhill, run in transition. He's going to be giving out a lot of buckets, and that's what he aims to do, and that's what he does well. I could definitely see him win a six man.
I'm trying to look at the odds. When I was doing my research, Malik Monk was a name that I think he might be up there.
Plus 1,200 for my bettors out there.
He's third.
Yeah, I think he's third behind. I think it's behind Quickly and
Norman Powell. Norman Powell's a name that I've always liked over the last couple of years. Malik Monk, out of all the names that I saw, all of the guys I saw on that list as far as the betting odds, Malik Monk was the guy that I penciled in, that I think I believe in the Kings. I see a lot of conversation about the Kings regressing. I still think the Kings are a top team in the West. I think they're a playoff team. Like, I don't think it was a fluke. I think De'Aaron Fox is one of the best fourth quarter players. I mean, he made some big shots last year. Like, I think Mike Brown is an excellent coach. I think they have some young guys that I think are going to continue to improve. And so I like the Kings and I like the Malik Monk pick. Two names that I want to keep an eye on. The Celtics are weird, though, because I don't know. Joe Mazzulla's talking about possibly having different starting lineups on a nightly basis. And so I expect a Holiday White starting backcourt. So Boston could have a six man of the year candidate, but by nature of how they may switch lineups on a nightly basis. But if a Derek White were to come off the bench, which probably won't happen, he would be a leading candidate. But if it's White, Holiday starting, Horford may come off the bench, right? But if Horford were to start, so I think Peyton Pritchard would be a name that I'm looking at. With, he's just signed a new contract. He's shown a lot of aggression in the preseason. He could be a name. And also, this is just strictly Denver being possibly the number one seed in the Western Conference from the beginning of the year to the end. I think Christian Braun, we'll see if he steps up into that six-man role. So Malik Monk would be my pick, but a deep sleeper that I really want to keep an eye on is Christian Braun. I think he has a chance to really step into a bigger role this year. And if Christian Braun puts up 12 to 15 a night for Denver, and Denver's the best team in the NBA record-wise, do you not give it to him? So that's the question I have with myself. So Christian Braun's the name that I will look out for as well. All right, so a couple more left. I think Rookie of the Year, for me, it's an on A1B, but who do you have for Rookie of the Year?
I got 1B as well.
Yeah.
All the way.
Yeah, it's obvious. I usually lean toward the point guard in this situation, guys who have the ball in their hands mostly for, especially for a bad team. Scooter's going to have a lot of opportunity to make plays, but the way that Vic is going to impact the game, just the energy surrounding that story, the Spurs, like, man, Vic is going to be so unbelievable this season. He's like, it's one thing to see the highlights and the clips from before he entered the league, but to see what he's doing now against NBA guys, it's different. Like, he's a 7-footer doing 7'4", doing in and outs and putting the ball between his legs, breaking guys down, pulling up for jumpers, mid-range. Just the fundamentals are so on point. He's going to make an impact. He's going to fill a stat sheet in so many ways. And so the impact that Vic is going to make is just going to be so special and undeniable. I think Vic is going to take it, but I think Scoot's going to have a great year too. But Vic is it.
Yeah, I'm with Vic.
All right. Couple more left. Most improved. I wrote down two names, but I'll let you take it first.
This is like the most stacked.
It's a lot of candidates for different reasons.
It's a stacked race.
But it's also about your philosophy on it too. Like, what do you know what I mean? Because Ja Morant won most improved, right?
Right, he did.
And I don't. It's like, okay.
Yeah. of course, Maxi's my boy. I want to say him. He's going to be a candidate. But as I think about it more, I think it's going to be Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because we saw him on the Suns. He was averaging probably 12 to 15 points a game. Then he got to the Nets and was averaging 26.
Mm-hmm.
That was for half a season.
Yeah.
So now if we see him for a full season, average 25 plus, in the Nets, knowing the way the Nets operate, they'll probably be in the playoffs, like at the tail end of it. How can we not give him most improved? He's going to be averaging close to from 25 to 27 points. He's going to be playing defense. He might even see an uptick in assist numbers. How do you not give him most improved? So I think my pick is going to be Mikal.
I love Mikal, man. I love what he's done. You know, from Villanova, we know we followed him throughout his college career. He was a Sixer for one night. Like, I mean, every time I see him play, I'm like, what if? But I love that pick. I wish he would get more attention as far as Defensive Player of the Year is concerned, because I think that highly of him. And I think he's going to have he had a breakout second half once he joined the Nets. And I think he's going to continue that for sure. But two names that I put down, because I think these teams are going to be in the thick of it when it comes to the playoff conversation. Jalen Williams for OKC and Keegan Murray for the Kings. I couldn't decide which one. I want to lean toward Jalen Williams because we know what SGA does, but I think Jalen can be the number 2 when it comes to scoring. I think he can be right behind SGA just with his impact in the game, his ability to just attack the rim and just be physical. Like, he brings an element for OKC that is just going to be undeniable. And so he averaged 14 a game last year. He could be a 20-point a game scorer. I don't see why not. And so if he's a 20-point a game scorer for a Thunder team that could be a top 6 team in the West, that's the name that I would put my check to. But Keegan Murray as well, he averaged 12 last year. Watching him in the summer league in the preseason, like, he's dunking on guys now. Like, he's been out of Iowa for a little bit now, so he's tapped into something different now. And so seeing Keegan Murray just attacking the rim and showing off the athleticism, being more confident, he has such a vast array of moves offensively. I think Keegan Murray can be he can take another level. I mean, from 12 a game to 18 a game, I can see that happening for him. But right now, Jalen Williams would be my guy. All right. This is it. This is the conversation. The MVP. I think obviously the conversation of whoever is going to MVP, your team's going to be top 1, top 2, maybe top 3 in your conference, right? And so the list is slim. So who's your MVP?
There's so many to choose from. Like,
it's like 6 names, I would say.
Because a lot of these guys are on the same team, right? Like, KD and Book are on the same team. Greek and Dame are on the same team. You got Jokic, you got Bron, AD. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Tatum though. I'm going with Tatum because I feel like, all right, the Jokic and the Embiid thing, like, I feel like it's overdone. I feel like everybody's tired of it. The media is tired of it. Even if both of them put up, those numbers, I don't know. Especially the way, like, all right, Jokic won his chip, and Embiid didn't show up in the playoffs. So it's like, I feel like that's going to be in the back of voters' minds. And we know how the league is with voter fatigue. I feel like Tatum, he could have been won it, but the Celtics always have those weird streaks in their season where they fall off from the top seed. But this year, with the moves they made, if they can stay healthy with Porzingis and Holiday, Tatum's he's going to average 30, and they're going to be winning games.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going with Tatum this year. I think I'm going with Tatum. Part of me was like, Giannis might get back in that mix because the Bucks might be killing. Dame might even get it because he's going to be averaging crazy numbers too, I'm sure. And they might be, they really might have a good record. But I think it's going to be somebody new. And I think Tatum's the only one that could really. It's going to be Tatum. I'm going with Tatum. I think Tatum.
Tatum was the name I put down, honestly. And it wasn't. I thought about it for a little bit, obviously, but it wasn't that hard of a decision for me to put down. I have my reservations about Tatum in the postseason. Like, there's some things I want to see from him more. I want to see more of an aggressive mindset instead of settling for jumpers too much. You use your size and the skills that you've been blessed with. This is a regular season award. I think Boston's going to be the top seed in the Eastern Conference. I think Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, if he's healthy, they're going to be a machine. Like, if they're healthy throughout the season, man, to have Derek White and Drew Holiday defensively, you're set. Kristaps Porzingis, Tatum and Brown, Jaylen Brown never played with a big guy like Porzingis, so skilled who can stretch the floor. I think that's just going to unlock so many things for Tatum and Brown. I think Brown's going to have another great year as well, but Tatum's going to is the best guy on the Celtics. The Celtics should have, and they might have the best record in the league when it's all said and done. We'll see. And so I think Tatum for me is the pick. And I think we will see a more aggressive Tatum this year. I think last year, disappointing loss to the Heat. I think that was tough. I mean, I think everybody expected Boston to win that series at the end of the day. And so to end it how it did, I think it left a sour taste in the mouth. And I think having a Drew Holiday on that team, a veteran, he's won a championship. I think that may unlock something else for Tatum and Brown as well. And so Tatum is I think Tatum wins the MVP. I think we got something fresh and something new. And I think this season is set up nicely for Boston to go back to the finals and maybe win it. So that is my pick. We're going to talk about our Final Four picks too. So that's just one of my picks in the Eastern Conference. So what's your you want to do Final Four picks in the West and East?
Yeah. So in the East, I think it's gonna come down to, are we doing Final Four per conference or just Final Four for the two? You want conference finals for the East, conference finals for the West?
Yeah, conference finals for the East, conference finals for the West, and then who we have advancing.
I'm going Celtics Bucks, of course, for the East. I feel like that's the easy pick. You can't count out the Heat, but I just feel like the other teams got better and the Heat didn't, so I got to go with them. The West is a little more tricky, man. It's a little more tricky. I know
who I got. I'm putting a lot of stock in this one team, but we'll see.
I think Phoenix is going to be there. I think Phoenix is going to be there in the end, and then they're going to be in the conference finals. Mm-hmm. This last team, it's so much. It's so many teams I want to say. I want to say the Clippers. I want to say the Lakers.
See, the Clippers.
I want to say the Warriors. But I gotta stick with the Nuggets right now. I just got to, and it's just mainly because I seen it already. You know what I mean? Like I seen how they came out and played. I seen how active they were. I seen the way Jokic played, like so smart, so strategic in the playoffs. It's hard to go against that. And I seen the way Jamal Murray's been balling. Like Jamal Murray is my guy,
and he's healthy. Like he had a full off season of being healthy. Like
throw out all these names. But when the playoffs come, Jamal Murray is up there with all of them because he's giving them buckets. He's giving you 30. He's giving you 40. Tough shots. I can't go against that from what I've seen. I see him do it time and time and again. And they, like I said, they got the same core that they won with. They're still together. We talked about Bron. We talked about the rookie they drafted, Strawther.
Julian Strawther. Peyton Watson might be.
It's like it's hard to go against that. You know Kawhi's my boy. I want to see Kawhi. I want to see the Clippers do it, but they got to show me. I just can't do it right now. They got to show me.
Man, Kawhi and PG are two of my favorite guys. You know, I love watching Steph, and we love Joel, but Kawhi and PG have been my guys for a long time. But I can't. Are they going to be available? I don't know. All these teams that we can say, okay, the Clippers. Well, are they going to be healthy? Golden State. Are they too old? I mean, Steph is still great, but I don't know if Clay is ever going to get back to the Clay that we knew. Right? Chris Paul. I mean, he's a great point guard. What he brings IQ wise, and he may help Jonathan Kuminga take another step, but they're not pound like I don't think they can't keep up with Denver. Aaron Gordon. We didn't mention Aaron Gordon.
You can't count them out. That's the thing. The West is going to be crazy.
You can't count them out, but it's like, man, the one thing Denver has, nobody has an answer for, and that's Joker.
Yeah.
You put that card down, what you gonna do? Yeah. Like, not even what he does scoring wise, but offensively getting other guys involved. You're always, if you play with Joker, you're always going to be open. Like he's going to find avenues to get you the ball that you didn't even think were available. And so that's what makes them so dangerous. They can beat you in so many ways because you have that guy. And I can't pinpoint another player outside of a Steph Curry because he's just special and unique in his own way. But outside of that, with the Lakers, is AD going to be healthy? And if he's healthy, he's going to be locked in. I don't know. Like LeBron is LeBron, but can he keep this up? How much longer can he be the guy that has to carry the load? Like AD has to step up. And that's my only concern about the Lakers. So it's like Eastern Conference, Boston, Milwaukee, Phoenix. I just think at the end of the day, it's going to be too much what are you going to do with Bill, Booker, and KD? And I think we're going to see a lot of playmaking opportunities for those guys. I think Booker can be an MVP candidate. I think he really can.
Yeah, because I said a lot of these MVP guys are in the same team.
So I think those other role players are going to get this is the best opportunity for a role player to just make bank next summer. Like if you sign the short deal and you can get like 10 to 15 a game, maybe Eric Gordon give you some buckets, Grayson Allen. Like they have some guys who can stand to have some opportunities this year to raise their stock up a little bit. This is your opportunity because you can't key on one guy when Bill, Booker, and KD at all times. You're going to have a guy that can give you 30 on the floor, so you can stagger their minutes. You can have some bench guys come in with them. And I think it's just going to be lethal. And so I think Phoenix, Denver, my finals pick is Denver and Boston. I think that was what I thought would be the matchup last year, but I think we get it this year.
I think the Bucks is going this year. I'm rocking with the Bucks, man. Giannis and Dame, like, it's something I always thought about, and it's something I don't know how you're going to stop it. Because you still got to consider, he still got Burke, still got Middleton if he gets back healthy, still got Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton, and it's a team that's done it before. And I just think the hunger of Dame mixed with the greatness of Giannis and him wanting to keep winning, they might win it all, honestly. Because it's just that 1-2 punch with what they already got. They stay healthy. I think that's going to be it. That's just dangerous, man. I don't think we've ever seen a duo with this much potential together. You know what I mean? Like, saw Bron, D-Wade, and Bosh, and that's a trio. But I'm just talking about a duo of them two. Like Kobe and Shaq, we saw that.
Yeah.
But we haven't. I don't know. This is going to be something different. Like,
this
is going to be something different that we ain't seen in a minute.
I'm excited to see. I'm just, outside of Dame and Giannis, I think Chris Middleton's health is huge. I'm concerned about that. I'm not sure if he'll be 100% throughout the season. And so I got to see it. And I don't know, man. Just the potential of Derek White and Jrue Holiday defensively, and how is Milwaukee going to combat Tatum and Brown defensively? Connaughton and Beasley they're not going to do it. I mean, you got Giannis there, obviously, but it's like, so it's going to be a matchup thing when they meet. It's going to be a matchup of how these coaches. It's going to come down to the coaching and exploiting certain things.
Health matchups is going to be the biggest thing. But I'm going early prediction. I'm going Bucks Suns for the chip right now.
Yeah. And out of the West, I got Denver coming out. Did you mention the West? You got?
Yeah, I said Bucks and Suns. Bucks and
Suns. Okay, Suns making it. Suns making it. Okay.
Yeah, but at this point, anybody that's a contender could go. It's just it's going to be exciting for sure.
It is. So we'll see. Open tonight. You got the Lakers, Nuggets, Warriors, Suns, and then the rest. We're going to have a lot to talk about over the next from now until June to the finals, and then we got college ball coming back up too. And so this is a great time of the year. You got football still going on, and so I'm excited for what the next year or so is going to bring. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe on all your favorite streaming platforms, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. We're going to try to get this on Spotify as well. And so we'll be back next week, recording weekly. Thanks for watching.
Peace out.